AI, is it actually going to make music producers obsolete? Time for us to kind of just give it up and call it quits. What's good, guys? Mr. Mig, multi-platinum producer, songwriter, and engineer. It's 2025, and there's a lot of talk about AI coming in and taking our jobs as music producers. And I have my thoughts on this. I want to show you what I believe are the pros and the cons of using AI for music production, and also discuss our value as music producers. I have my thoughts on the limitations and also the pros of using AI. Now, I went to it because I was really curious as to like what I should be thinking about or worried about as a music producer, since everybody's talking all about AI taking our jobs. So I dug in, I made a bunch of tracks, and I'm going to show you basically the process of how you would have to go about making music with AI. And let's just jump into this and I'll just talk about it while we're doing it. So I'm over here in Suno, and I'm going to go and select create up here. And right now, because I'm a producer beat maker, I'm also a songwriter, but I'm not going to write a song right now. We're just going to click on instrumental right here, and we're going to prompt. Remember, you have to prompt. So the biggest thing about this is you get whatever it gives you. So we're going to start there, and that's going to be one of my first cons. Not a pro, it's a con, because if I say I want a trap beat at 70 beats per minute, right, and I describe a few elements about it, it's going to give me what it gives me. So let's do that right now. 70 beats per minute, trap beat with a sad vibe. Add guitars and piano and 808 bass. All right, that's pretty much that's a basic prompt. That's what you get. So now I'm just going to hit create, and let's see what it gives us. It's done, and it just spit out a couple of tracks, and it named it for me, Shadows in the Rain. So like, let's listen to this. Does that sound like a trap beat to you? Because it doesn't sound like one to me, and I don't hear any 808s or anything, but I do hear really nice melodies for something, maybe a soundtrack. I don't know. Let's check out the next prompt, the next version that it spit out, because it gave us two. Shadows in the Rain, part 2. All right, whatever. Stop. That's terrible. That is not a trap beat. I don't hear anything trap in there. I don't hear anything hip hop in there. And it literally says guitar and piano, rap, sad, trap, melancholic. I didn't even tell it melancholic. It did that. So let's go back to the prompt and see if we can fix this. All right, so 70 BPM. Let's just do E minor. Do I have to like put commas? Let's see. E minor, trap beat, or I'm going to say trap beat with hard drums. I'm just going to also put trap hi-hats because we want those like shaking machine gun type of hi-hats. And let's change it to dark vibe, guitar, and 808 bass. And let's hit create. All right, it's spitting out some tracks called Darkness Falls. Remember, you are paying for these. Every time it gets it wrong, you're paying. You have credits, you're paying. All right, let's play the first version of Darkness Falls. It says rap, dark, guitar-driven trap. I like this part so far. All right, we got closer. I'm not mad at that. I got to be honest with you. That's pretty good. So here's what's cool about that. There are elements in there that I would use and can use. So let's consider that the equivalent of finding a splice loop or something on Loop Cloud right now, because that's what it is to me. I just found a loop that I already have subscriptions for all that stuff and could have found 1,000 loops in the same time. So, but cool, good. Let's move on to, and plus, you know, I don't have anything separated there, so we'd have to then download that, go to another AI platform, separate the stems, and hopefully separate it the right way. Like, hopefully it gives us a kick, a snare, hi-hats, claps. Typically it doesn't. It gives you a drum stem. I think some of them are doing a little better than that. A drum stem, possibly a bass stem, and a guitar stem separate from each other, but not always. Sometimes they're squished together. All right, then we go to the next render that it made for us. Darkness Falls Part 2. I'm not gonna lie, AI is crazy. It's we still don't know how it really works. I think it just kind of scours this giant database of music, and it just pulls from everything based on your prompts. Now, why did the first prompts fail and the second prompts work? I think it has something to do with me adding commas between each part of the prompt right here. So that's good to know. So here's what I would do. And by the way, I think I could have made a beat in the same amount of time that it took to prompt, and it would be completely separated. All the stems would be there. And yeah, so, I mean, I could sit here and try to make a beat like that. Or what we could do next is something pretty cool. We're going to download the first one. I like the first one. And now we are going to go here and download the MP3 audio. It's not even like the full wave, but I'm going to download that and we're going to separate it. Going to go up to the tools here, and I'm going to go down to splitter and just click on import a song. And let's go down here to the track, which is called Darkness Falls MP3. And I'm going to ask it to split, let me see, vocals, others, 4 tracks. I don't have a pro account, so I'm going to do 4 tracks. That should be enough for me to do something with. Download as audio. Oh, you can download as MIDI as really, can you? Oh, I have to have pro to download as MIDI. Let me go into my downloads and import these files. Okay, so check it out. We're importing the files or the stems from the beat that we made in Suno. Okay. Great. So let's do this. Let me get the tempo of this by using the original full beat. I'll throw on Logic's BPM counter real quick. All right, just like I said, I wanted it at 75 beats per minute, and Suno did 75 beats per minute, but I wanted to make sure. So I'm just gonna change Logic's session tempo to 75 beats per minute. Why do I do that? Because as we start chopping these sections up, if we need to, they will be in time. So now I can mute out the main file and listen to the stems by themselves. You know, you hear right away, though, when you separate stems from an AI track, it just sounds low quality. It sounds glitchy and wavy and watery, and here's what the drum stems sound like. So there's like these artifacts, which does not sound good to me. To me, that doesn't sound good. Like there's an idea here, but it doesn't sound good. Like the quality of the files. So what I would probably do is chop the original intro right here and use that, because that sounds fine. It's like the separated stems don't sound fine. They sound crappy. Like, listen to that. Sounds low quality. I wouldn't sell a beat that sounds like that to anybody. But I would take a part like this. So maybe I go like this, and let's arrange. So take that, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what that is. We don't need that. I'm doing so much work for something that I could have already had done. I could have already made a beat already, and it would have been fantastic. It would have been hot. But if we're forced to use things like this, or we want to just experiment, here's some things you can do. So I treat it as any other loop. It's like a splice loop in my mind. Here are the drums. Fine, let's keep them there along with this pattern. And if we want to use the bass, here's what it sounds like. All right, so I can see the drums picked up there. So what I would do is segment this, make sure I know the difference between the hook drums and the rest of them. So we have like these intro drums or verse drums. Once again, another verse right here, right? I don't like the sound of the bass. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to use my plugin. And I made this because I wanted better sounds than anything I can find. So I created them and made this plugin. I'm a bit of a geek. This is called the MIGs. Yep, I named one after myself. Put some glide. Let's see what that sounds like. So I'm hearing that the stems are actually a little bit off timing. So before I go any further with the bass, I just want to get those stems better on the beat because they're throwing off the bass line that I'm putting in. There we go. There we go, guys. You see that? Got to do that. Let's get back to the 808 Monster, this beautiful plugin of mine that I love so much, and I know you will too. You see how fire it is? Look. Look at that fire. All right, so my bass line, I like it much better. I think it's hot actually, and I don't have to worry about that wobbly garbage. So the idea here is to take the stems and like actually make them viable to when you're selling your beat or you're mixing your track. You have stems. We don't with the drums. So what I'm going to do with these drums is filter them out completely. I'm going to use them as a percussion loop. Just like that. And now we're going to add drums. So I'm going to open up Drum Designer and I'm going to add sounds from one of my packs, which is on my site, Max Beats. So I'm going to grab some kicks here. We'll make a drum kit here. Drop this guy right here. Go back to the snares or claps. Drop this right here on the clap button. Get a snare. I like this one. All right, drop that here. And let's get a hat, like a closed hat. I like that one right here. We're going to drop that right here and this open hat. And now we have some drums. So let's beef up these drums. I'm going to play these in. Add a snare. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, let's get another hi-hat on here. See, now we're talking. So we took the basic idea, right? And we can build on it. So like, to me, it's really nothing more than getting some loops from Splice. I think this beat would have been done had I just started it myself and just came up with an idea. So here's my thoughts. When you're prompting and you're lucky and you get something that you can use, you're gonna have to do a little bit of work around that. If you're a professional at this and you need to do a professional mix and you also might be selling beats to other artists, then you don't want to give them crappy, low quality sounds. So you can take that stuff and you can utilize it this way. Do I think that music producers' jobs are gonna be taken with the use of AI? They're gonna be artists out there that are going to want to start trying to learn music production, and I think AI is like their gateway drug to that. Once they get into prompting and doing all this work, they might settle for whatever they're given, or they might see it as a way to like create a demo and then still search out someone like you or me to do full production, which is what I get right now. I get artists that come to me with some basic stuff that they've done with AI, and they're like, can you turn this into a real song? We're just taking it as an idea and we're building on it. So I don't think our jobs are going anywhere right now. I think that the human experience is really important as well when you're collaborating with artists and songwriters. And I think that's the best part about this, is that we get to work with other human beings that share a similar goal and similar interests. So if you like this video, please stick around, subscribe so I can, just connect with you guys. If you need anything at all, hit the links in the description of this video. You can always go to my website, maxbeats.com, and get me there on the chat or on Instagram at maxbeats. And that's it. Mr. Mig, I'm out. Peace.